Abris by Rainwork is essentially it's a minimalist sandbox physics strategy game, I suppose is the best way to put it, where basically you build devices that are designed to destroy buildings and structures. On the surface of it, a very simple game where you get given a target that you've got to destroy and you build a contraption that does it. If you think something like Besieged, you'll get the idea of what this is trying to do. But rather than sort of build vehicles or anything like that, you have static structures that you build on like a plinth. On this plinth, you add whatever you want, whether it be rockets, lasers, movement, bombs, whatever you feel you need, and you find the best way to destroy your target. What I really, really, really like about Abris, though, is, or Abris, however it's pronounced, is that it feels satisfying. I've played games like this before where the physics are frustrating to set up and overly convoluted. And what Abris does is it allows you just to really experiment. There's a campaign mode that takes you through gradually introducing the different elements. So you'll start off, first of all, with a structure where it just falls over. That's absolutely fine. Just falls over, does what it needs to do, and away you go. And then it'll introduce ways of making things stick together so they fall in other ways, and so on and so forth. So you get lots of good things there going on. And then I think as you go further, you get spinning, you get rotation, rockets that'll fly up because you've got to destroy something that's above you or complete this around it. So you need it to rotate or blow the base off a bridge. So the bridge then collapses. The campaign is really, really good. And it takes you through everything you need to do in a good, methodical manner. But where the fun of this is in the sandbox mode, where basically you could just experiment to your heart's content, build almost what you want, destroy what you can, and just have a great load of fun with it. Now, when I've played this, it's still in early access. There was a brilliant demo during Steam Next Fest, and the early access version has actually seems to have taken on a lot of feedback from the initial demo build that I played. And the early access version I've been playing has much better transitional screens between levels. So they was really bright white before. They've darkened those down and it just looks a lot nicer, which is great from an accessibility point of view. On the accessibility, there are some accessibility options in there, so like reducing screen shake and colorblind mode and stuff like that. Personally, would like more if it's possible. Maybe a way of increasing the UI size. I think that should be a standard in every game, really, being able to do that, and maybe a few more visual tricks that are there to maybe help out. But on the whole, it's a really well designed game. So a lot of games where I have accessibility issues is that the games aren't designed well. They've not thought about how many people could see it. Someone who's ably sighted can see a dark mode quite well. They can see light text on dark quite well. But someone who's visually impaired can't see dark text on a light background. So it stands to reason, if you actually think about this a bit, you get that balance. So I'm not overly going to complain about the lack of accessibility options on my part with this, because they're there for me. Others might have other issues and so on and so forth. But what you've also got here is all the levels are pretty straightforward, so they're pretty simple. So yes, there's no sort of like pausing and going back to exactly where you were, but it doesn't need it because the levels you do are really well structured. They're short, and it's all there. It's got a few like other nice touches in there. So apart from the campaign and the sandbox mode, you've got a photo mode, which is really good. You can get some spectacular photos from this, if I remember, and in the article, you'll see some below of what I've managed to get. But it's also got a GIF making system in there as well. So you could show your destruction and show loops of that. Again, it's just nice little touches for you to be able to share what you've done. Because what this essentially is, you build something and destroy something beautiful. And it's just, it just looks wonderful. It plays wonderful. And yeah, of all these games, it's the one that's not made me feel stupid. And I like that, a game that doesn't make me feel stupid, because I don't have a degree in physics. It explains everything really, really well. So you'll probably get more in-depth reviews of the finer parts of the gameplay and so on and so forth. But for me, really enjoyed this. Absolutely spectacular game. It was my favourite game of the Steam Next Fest. Best demo on there. Playing the full version or the early access version there. And it's just cemented its place as one of my favourite games of 2022 so far. Yeah, that's it. If you like what we're doing, do make sure you you check out the website more, you subscribe to the podcast. You can get us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean. We're on YouTube and Twitch as well. There'll be more content going up there. Subscribe, like us, help us grow. And then eventually we'll do some other bits. That's it. This was a new feature called MHG Soundbites. Check out these. There'll be more of these coming on a weekly basis. Take care.